You've probably sat next to a wealthy person and had absolutely no idea. Not because they were hiding, but because you were looking for the wrong signs. Most people think wealth is loud, visible, and impossible to miss, something that shows up in luxury cars, designer clothes, and expensive vacations. But real wealth is quiet, almost invisible, and once you learn how to recognize it, you start to realize it has been around you the entire time. I've spent years studying money through both formal education and real-world experience. Working in finance, observing behavior, and paying attention to how people actually act around money when they think no one is analyzing them. And the most surprising thing I've noticed is that the people with real wealth don't behave the way you would expect. Because they don't try to impress you. They don't signal status, and they rarely look like what social media tells you rich people should look like. But they do leave patterns behind, subtle clues in how they think, how they spend, and how they move through life. In this video, I'm going to break down those patterns so you can not only recognize them in others but start applying them in your own life. The first sign is that they are unusually calm when money comes up in conversation. There is no tension, no awkward shift in energy, and no need to prove anything to anyone in that moment. If you think about most conversations involving money, people tend to react emotionally. They compare themselves to others. They justify their decisions, or they quickly try to change the topic because it feels uncomfortable. But quietly wealthy people approach money as neutral information, something to understand and manage rather than something to feel judged by. That calmness is not a personality trait but a reflection of their financial position. Because when money is stable, it stops being a source of stress and becomes a tool. And when money becomes a tool, you make better decisions, you negotiate more clearly, and you stop reacting emotionally to situations that require logic. The second sign is that they spend money on things that appear incredibly boring on the surface but are extremely powerful over time. Instead of spending on status-driven purchases, they prioritize things like systems, insurance, tools, and services that make their lives more efficient and less stressful. These are not the kinds of purchases people post online or talk about with friends. But they are the kinds of decisions that quietly improve quality of life every single day. There is a fundamental difference between spending for attention and spending for stability. And most people confuse the two without realizing it. Flashy spending gives you a temporary emotional high, but it fades quickly and often creates pressure to maintain a certain image. Boring spending, on the other hand, compounds slowly by reducing friction, preventing future problems, and freeing up time and energy for more important things. The third sign is that they don't rush financial decisions, even when everyone around them feels urgency. They don't chase trends, they don't panic buy, and they don't feel pressured to act immediately just because others are doing so. Instead, they pause, they think, and they give themselves space to evaluate whether something truly makes sense. Most financial mistakes don't come from a lack of knowledge but from acting under pressure. Whether that pressure is time-based, social, or emotional. When you feel rushed, your ability to think clearly decreases, and that is when poor decisions happen. Quietly wealthy people have built enough margin into their lives to avoid that pressure, which allows them to wait, ask better questions, and walk away when something doesn't feel right. Another sign that often goes unnoticed is that their lifestyle does not immediately expand when their income increases. They don't upgrade everything at once, and they don't turn every raise into a new recurring expense that locks them into a higher cost of living. Instead, they maintain a relatively stable lifestyle while allowing their income to grow, which creates a gap between what they earn and what they spend. That gap is where wealth is actually built, even though it is invisible to everyone else. The challenge is that lifestyle inflation feels like progress, so most people naturally increase their spending as soon as they earn more. But over time, This keeps them in the same financial position despite higher income, because their expenses rise just as fast as their earnings. At a certain point, quietly wealthy people stop focusing primarily on price and start focusing on time. They still care about money, but they understand that time is the only resource that cannot be recovered once it is spent. This shift changes how they make decisions, because they begin to prioritize efficiency, convenience, and leverage over saving small amounts of money. They are more willing to delegate, automate, or eliminate tasks that consume time but do not create meaningful value in their lives. This is not about being careless with money but about recognizing that protecting your time often leads to better long-term outcomes. The final sign, and the one that connects everything, is that they do not need others to know they are wealthy. They do not drop hints. They do not subtly show off. And they do not build their identity around what they own. If you discover that they are wealthy, it usually happens by accident and often much later than you would expect. This matters because when your identity is tied to money, you start making decisions based on how things look rather than how they function. You spend to signal success. You upgrade to impress others. And you optimize for perception instead of actual outcomes. Quietly wealthy people avoid this trap by keeping their financial life private, which allows their money to continue working in the background without unnecessary pressure. There are two different games people play when it comes to money. And understanding the difference changes everything. The first is the status game, where success is measured by what others can see, and the goal is to appear more successful than those around you. The second is the wealth game, where success is measured by freedom, stability, and long-term security rather than external validation. The people who build real wealth consistently choose the second game, not through one big decision but through small choices repeated over time. The most important part is that none of these behaviors require you to already be wealthy in order to start. They are not the result of having money but the habits that eventually lead to it. And the earlier you begin to think this way, the more powerful the results become over time. So the next time you meet someone who seems completely ordinary on the surface, take a closer look at how they think and behave around money. Because there is a chance you are looking at someone who has already figured out the game. If you found this helpful, share it with someone who is trying to build real wealth instead of just looking like it. And if you want more content like this, make sure to subscribe because the next video will break down another financial behavior that most people completely misunderstand. I'll see you in the next one.